I'm filming. I'm gonna be doing makeup for a
Yes.
secret contest that I'm gonna be doing with Cünt that you guys love.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. It's me, Vanilla, and I am here to answer some of your most asked questions. And I'm actually really excited about this. Oh my God.
How's everybody doing?
That was so rude of me. I'm so sorry. I actually just had 2 sips of a Sprite because I'm feeling a little crazy. It's about 10:40 p.m. right now. I was really craving a bubble water, and I don't have any. I never have soda at my house because I'm just not really a soda person. I like seltzers, flavored seltzers, and I know that everyone's kind of like, okay, bitch, should we invite Bella to be like, okay, it's not in that sense, okay? It's it's just I really just don't like soda like that. But I had a little bit of a pool party a couple weeks ago, and somebody had a full friggin' 12-pack of Sprite cans, and after, the end of the night, everyone left. Like, there were still so many left. I'm like, I can't throw these out, so now they've just been sitting in my fridge, and so I'm a little bubbly right now. I had a few sips of that. It is good, I'm not going to lie to you. Anyway, but today we're going to answer some of your most frequently asked questions. About a week ago, I put a Instagram story up being like, hey, ask me some questions, and the best ones will get picked to be answered in a blog, and today is the day that we're doing that. Yeah, these questions, some of them are stuff that I've been asked a lot, and not everyone may know the answer to, and some were just questions that I just thought were good. And yeah, so they're not really in any particular order, but you might learn a lot about me today. You might learn a lot about yourself. I mean, you never know. Maybe I'll give some advice. I don't know who's really looking for advice from me, but hey, you never know. We're just going to kind of yap for a little bit. So get comfy. It's kind of a cozy nighttime vibe right now. I got my blankie here, my army hoodie on that I love very much, but I seem to wear way too often. But that's okay because, and you want to know what? Fuck anyone who's like, oh, I'm not an alpha repeater. Who the hell said, okay, Lil Yachty, don't get me wrong, Lil Yachty, love his music, whatever. But when he said, he was like, I don't even wear the same underwear.
Oh, wait a second, underwear.
Oh, brother. Hey, this is what he wanted us to all do.
Clap if you care.
Yeah, clap it up for this fucking guy. No, but I was just like, what do you mean? I wear the same shit all the time. But because I like it. So, Lil Yachty would hate my ass. Anyway, let's get into these questions. Okay, my first most asked question. This one came from like a million different people. Why the name Vanilla Mace? What is Vanilla Mace? Where did it come from? So, honestly, a lot of people ask me this, and it's really not that exciting of a story. I wish I had a cooler story for this. When I used to dance back in the day, for those of you who don't know, I used to dance at a nightclub for 6 years before I pivoted to do content creation full time. Basically, when I first started dancing back in 2018-ish, my Instagram was just, like my name. And there would be sometimes, good customers would come and they'd be like, hey, let me get your Instagram or something so I could let you know when I want to come back and whatever. And I would give them my Instagram and I'd be like, dang it, now he knows my name. Because obviously in the club you use a stage name. And I just wanted to, make something up. And also common misconception, people used to think that Vanilla was my name at the club. It was not my name at the club. But I just made it up. I literally remember, being on Google, just typing in, cool username ideas, and, somehow, some way, came up with Vanilla Mace. So I have been Vanilla Mace for quite some years now. Yeah, that's really it. I just kind of made it up and ran with it. I thought the idea of it being like vanilla, but then also mace, as in either the spray or the weapon, just something about that was funny, haha, to me, and I like that. So, yeah, that's how that came about. And then this question is from Jasmine. How long have you been rocking the short hair for? What year, how old were you, and why? So, again, this actually happened also in 2018, when I started dancing. And it didn't have anything to do with me dancing or, working at the club. I had just, seen so many videos and, pictures of, girls with these short cuts, and I was like, oh, so good. I just was really, I just loved it. I really, really liked it. Some examples at the time of girls that I remember having like short cuts or just like kind of more like funky hairstyles were Ugly Worldwide. There's this girl that was also a dancer, and she was like really big on Twitter. Her name was OG Aquafina. She had a short cut at one point. And I just remember like, and there was a few other people also, but those were like, I just remember years ago seeing those, and I was like, that's so freaking cool, dude. And also I just didn't really have like an attachment to my hair, nor was my hair like super long or luscious anyway. It was probably like up to here and just kind of like damaged as hell. So I essentially just woke up one day, and I had been wanting to do it, and I've been telling people, like, I think I'm just going to shave it off. And I woke up one day, this is when I was living in Boston. So me and my roommates went to the barber shop literally down the street. I walked in bright and early. It was like 10 a.m. I walked into a Dominican barber shop at 10 in the morning, and I was like, just shave my head. Like, just get it off. They were like, huh? I was like, just don't ask any questions. Just, please, just, you know. So they shaved my head. And they all probably were looking at each other like, what the hell? And, I walked out of there, and I remembered the feeling of the breeze on my head. Because I think it was like October or November was the first time that I shaved my head. It was like definitely like almost winter time. And I remember the feeling of the cool breeze on my head was unlike any other feeling I had ever felt before. You know the commercial where it's like, oh my God, feels to chew 5 gum. Like, no, bitch, that's how it felt to chew 5 gum. Like, oh my, I was like, and it was such a cool feeling. I was like, whoa, and I felt the air on my scalp before like this. So yeah, they shaved my head. And I don't know why also I didn't think to just like get buzzers and do it myself. I don't know. So traumatized you poor guys. Yeah, I went home, I bleached it, and I never really looked back, which is also funny too because the barbershop also looked like this back here being sweet. The barbershop was next to this cafe that I would go to like damn near every morning for breakfast. It was in like walking distance from our apartment. And I remember one day, like shortly after I had shaved it, when I had it bleached and I had, a full beat on, I walked by, and the barbershop guys were looking at me like, hey. And they were like, oh, okay. I was like, you had to trust the vision. I was like, you had to trust the vision, okay? You had to, he had to give me a second to get back up, Because I probably walked out of there looking crazy, but, once I got it all together, it was pretty good. So I was about 21 when I did that, and I loved it. I really did love it. And honestly, I had never got more compliments than when I had a shaved head. Really. Like comparing to having long hair, I had never got more compliments. Because it's just different. I don't know. It's just different. I feel like people are just like, whoa, they just kind of look at you and they're, and whether it's a good or a bad way, whatever, bitch, it's different. So, yeah, that was why I shaved my head. Just because I felt like it. Okay, Nani asks, what's your dream collab? Ooh, okay. So, genuinely, as far as, content-wise, Slushy News. That really was, up there for me. With, one of my, dream collabs for real. If you've been watching my shit for a while, you've heard me talk about them in old podcast episodes and old vlogs and stuff, about, I just love their content. I really do. I do love their content. I'm not somebody who watches a ton of content creators or consumes, a ton of media outside of just, whatever I see on, TikTok every now and then. But once I found Slushy News, I was just like, well, these guys are freaking hilarious. And I was like, every platform, I was like, Patreon, I need that. I was tapped in. I really am tapped in. So I remember only a few months ago, right before stuff started to, really blow up for me, I was watching their Octodad video, and it was shortly after I had played Octodad, and it's a very old game, and somewhere in my delusional head, I was like, do you think they saw, a clip of me playing Octodad, and maybe they want to play Octodad? And, that was so far-fetched, but even the thought of that, I was like, that's so cool, what if that's And, like, that even had me geek. So when eventually, like, they had followed me and then, Hamza asked if I wanted to make a video with them, I was like, yes! So that was so much fun. They're really cool, and that was, like, honestly really up there, and I even said in the video, like, I was like, where's some of your, like, dreams? Like, this! Oh, for real. Like,
Playing a game with you guys. I think.
But yeah, as far as, like, other creators and stuff go, I feel like I have met so many people in the space in such a short amount of time. So many people that I've seen, you know, on this app for years. Some of these people are fucking, you know, literal icons. And it's so crazy to not, like, be in the same room as some people that, like, I've seen on my screen for so many years. And, yeah, I really have met so many amazing people. But as far as brand collabs and stuff go, I've said this before, I really love, like, cool, quirky, like, Heaven Mark Jacobs, like, stuff like that. Any sort of brand that kind of has a little bit of, like, oomph to it and kind of feels like it's, like, aligned with me, I'm like, yes. I very much love Vivienne Westwood. That's, like, one of my favorite brands ever. Y'all know I wear the fuck out of some Vivienne Westwood jewelry. It's like, girl, I need to put the damn orb down. Like, girl, we get it. You like the freaking orb. Vivienne Westwood is, like, up there as well with, like, dream collabs. Like, anything, like, high fashion, anything, like, magazine, like, just anything like that in general would be so cool to do, in my opinion, because I feel like it's something that, you know what I mean, people watch my stuff and it's more like silly, fun content, but then to see me, like, put into a space like that, I feel like people will be like, whoa, what the hell is she doing here? But, like, in a cool way, and that's, like, exactly what I want to do. I think that would be, like, really, really cool to do more fashion stuff, I think. Then Maya asks, are you a part of the LGBTQ community? Well, yes! I don't know how many have to answer this. It's so funny because I'll see, you know, like, edits of me, and some people will just assume that I'm a lesbian, and then some people will just assume that I'm straight. And I'm like, what kind of vibes do I give off to you people? I really don't know. But the answer is yes, I am part of the LGBTQ community. I am pansexual. But I don't really, you know, bisexual, queer, pansexual, any of those labels that you, like, I'm okay with all of those. Basically, all I'm trying to say is I like everybody. So that's basically all I'm trying to say. So call it what you want, but I like everyone. Jessica asks, what were some of your favorite moments from the Midnight Ballerina days? A moment that I look back on in particular, and I don't even know why, it's kind of like a more random moment, but it's just like playing out in my head right now. But there was this one night where it was like a Monday night, it was super slow. I was making no money. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to go home with no fucking money. Probably about like 11:30 midnight at this point. The club closes at 2. And this guy, I'm on the stage, and he starts putting $20 bills on the stage. I was like, wow, thank you, dude. And then after, he's like, come see me. So I go sit and I talk to him, and he's in like a VIP area. He had paid for like a separate booth. Long story short, he pretty much like just paid me for the entire rest of the night, and we just sat there and talked, and this guy was like loaded, but like just genuinely a nice person, and like just someone like easy to talk to. And we just sat there and talked, and then I was telling him that it was my friend's birthday, who was a bartender, and he was like, really expensive, like a $200 shot. I forget the name. It's like Louis the 13th or something like that. Is that person or I'm like, is that a teenager? literally chill and talk, and also just like meet someone who's like actually like not a fucking annoying asshole, or like very, what is the saying? Few, far, and in between. Far, few, and in between. What I'm trying to say. It's one of those things where it's like, wow, this was just like a perfect night. So moments like that. But again, this is not me glorifying the industry. The industry in itself is a very, very toxic, emotionally, physically taxing place to be. I know there's a lot of discourse right now on the internet about just sex work in general. People not wanting to support sex work because of them feeling like it's not empowering women, that it's actually doing the opposite. And that's, I guess, a conversation for another day, because I do see both sides of the story. But not story. I see both sides of people's opinions on that. But at the end of the day, I just don't want anyone to, if you, again, listen to my podcast episodes and stuff, you know that I'm not glorifying the industry. I've told good stories, I've told bad stories. And yeah, so I don't want anyone like young who likes my content to just be like, oh, well, Vanilla used to do it, so maybe I should do it. Please don't. Like, I'm telling you, like, it is one of those things where I am one of the, like, not to like try and toot my own horn or something, but it's an industry that I've seen very easily break people. If you have any sort of like addictive personality, where you are somebody who likes substances, or it's very easy to get hooked on that stuff because it's so easily available. And I am somebody who just was never into anything like that at all. I don't really drink. I don't smoke. I don't like it. So I didn't really have to worry about that. But like I said, it's the industry, and for a lot of reasons, not even just that, but it's the industry as a whole. Yes, there were plenty of really good nights and fun nights, and I'm like, I look back and I'm like, I'm glad that, I was in the industry, because I feel like it shaped me into the person that I am today. And this is just from a personal standpoint, but it's not something that I would go and recommend for people to do themselves. Does that make sense? Which also leads me to my next question is, let me see, this one makes sense in the order. Okay, Erica asks, why don't you like to drink? So, here's the key with that. So I do not drink, I don't smoke, I don't do really like anything. It's just me, my Prozac, and a dream girl. So I have never really been one that is like to heavily drink, even when I was like younger and in my more like party girl days. I never really drank that heavily. I could count on my hand how many times I've been drunk in my whole life. I genuinely, honestly, wouldn't even say that I've been like, I've never in my life been like tore up to the floor. Like when you're just like, I've never in my life felt like that. I've never been blacked out in my life. I don't even think that I've ever gotten to the point where I haven't remembered things. Like, I genuinely have only really ever like had like a little bit of a buzz going. And this was years ago. I have been on SSRIs. If you don't know what that is, that's like an anxiety/depression medication. It can be used in both instances. I do not have depression. I have anxiety. But I've been on that since I was 16. And a lot of times with medications like that, when you combine it with alcohol, it like doesn't have really good side effects. It almost makes it so like, for some people, you have one drink and it's like you had like 4 or 5. Like it like, and that's kind of how I just felt very like lightweight. Like I would have like half a drink and I'd be like, woo! And then I'm like, how am I not keeping up? My friends are like 5 drinks deep and I'm like, what the fuck? How are y'all doing that? So I was never really one to push the boundaries anyway. Also, I just genuinely didn't like how it made me feel. I would be like, I would get a drink of me and I'd be like this. Why am I sweating? I'd be like, I'm sweating. So losing. Everyone else is like this. And I'm like this. I just didn't like it. Like, I'm like my teacher hot. Like, just did not like it. I'm not a fan of anything that makes me feel not like how I normally feel. I really don't know. It was just straight up not a good time. And, yeah, just genuinely did not really like it. If you're somebody out there who feels like sometimes, you know, you're maybe like, hey, I don't really like this either, and you maybe if you're younger or something, because I know a lot of times there's like a peer pressure to feel like you have to drink to like be cool or fit in or whatever the fuck, but that's so fucking bullshit. Even to this day, at my big ass age of 28, every single time that I go out, people will be like, oh, you want a drink? Or like, have a drink, here, take a shot, you know, and again, this is them just trying to be nice and like include me in something, and some people, you know, people just don't know that I don't drink. And then I'll be like, oh no, I don't drink, and then it's usually one of like three reactions, okay? A person that I've never met before, or someone that I have met briefly but doesn't know that I don't drink, and I say, oh no, I don't drink. They go like this. Okay, that's one. But not even in like a like just, and then they don't really even say anything after that. They're just like, and I'm like, okay. Or I get this. Oh, good for you. I wish I could be like that. I wish I could be like that. And I'm like, it's like, I don't even really know what to say sometimes, because I'm like, oh, okay. But and I always like joke back. I'm like, oh, if I liked it, I would. Like, I'm like, if I liked to drink, I would, I guess, like have a little drinky poo every now and then. But I'm like, I don't know, like, or the third one, they'll just be like, this one's the one that pisses me off the most. They'll be like, come on, just come on, just have one, just have. Bitch, if I told you I don't fucking drink, how about you just like this? We just almost like 2 seconds. I feel like it's the thing where you think more people would just be like, oh, okay, and then they just move on with the. But everyone like makes it a thing, like for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm always just like, okay, yeah. Can we get a shout out to the sober baddies in here? Seriously, all right? Hi. If you've been sober, let me know in the comments how long you've been sober for, and just know that I'm proud of you, because I know that is not easy. Alicia asked, as a kid, were you into making videos? How did you get into streaming/YouTube? So, yes, as a kid, I was a fucking attention hog. I literally wanted the camera on me at all times. And I was really annoying about it. If you were to watch back my home videos that my dad used to take when I was little, damn near every video. And I actually have a clip of this. If you watch my Going Home for the Holidays vlog, there's a clip in probably around the middle of the vlog where I show some of my old family videos of me like as a kid. And I'm so annoying. Like I'm just like, can you see me? Dad, is the camera on me? Can I see it? Like, just constantly, and he's like, yes. But yeah, there's plenty of clips of me. I actually made my dad record, and this is still, I am so sad if this is lost media, because last time I was home, I tried so hard to find this footage, and I could not find it. But there is footage of me somewhere that I made my dad record of me making these paper towel dolls. And I've told this story on stream a really long time ago. But I used to make these. Oh, shit. Here we go again. I used to make these dolls out of paper towels. And I need you to. No, I'm just going to get the paper towels and show you. Okay. And you're not allowed to make fun of me. You're not allowed to make fun of my paper towels.
Be nice. I'm proud of it. It takes you that long to find it?
And these were my paper towel dolls that I used to. And I love them. I don't care what you have to say, okay? So I used to make these. And then, this gets more and more embarrassing. So basically what I would do, you know, because they need a car, obviously they need a drive, they need to have somewhere to go. So I would get a shoe, okay, a sneaker in particular, and they fit perfectly inside of a sneaker. So I would, you know, I'll demonstrate that as well. So then this would be their vehicle, this would be their mode of transportation. So this is how they would, I used to make my dad literally record what I just showed you. Like, I was like, hi, here's a tutorial on how to make a paper towel doll. And I would make my dad, like, record this whole, basically exactly what I just did for you. And then I would show them in the shoe. As if it was some sort of infomercial and I was going to be selling these out. So, yeah, so if anyone out there is interested in a paper towel doll, please hit new merch drop, Vanilla Mace paper towel dolls. But yeah, love this guy, really do. We all used to love a good MacBook photo booth moment, of course. So me and my friends, we would, make funny videos on there, and I would edit them in iMovie and just stuff like that. But this was, again, before, like, YouTube was, like, a real career. So it was more just for funsies, but yeah, I mean, I just love to just be silly on the internet, like before fucking social media. I just love to be silly on a camera. So, yeah. Do you have a skincare routine? Ashley asks. She says your skin is glowing all the time. What? Really? Thank you. My skincare routine is pretty not extensive, if I'm being honest. If I had to stick to a very extensive skincare routine, I fear that I just simply would not do it. I've extended it a little bit recently, but it's still kind of the same. So I will either use the La Roche-Posay foaming face wash in a blue bottle, but recently I have started using the Ordinary Gentle Cleanser because I feel like me personally, I like this one because I like the La Roche-Posay one, but I feel like the Ordinary one is more gentle and it doesn't feel as like drying. None of the other one is drying, but I don't know. It leaves a different feeling on your face. So it's more like a cream cleanser, if that makes sense. So I kind of go back and forth between those. And then I use, recently, this is a new addition. I used to use, and I still do use the Corexec, I don't know how you pronounce it, the snail mucin stuff. But there's one that comes in a bottle where it's 2 products in one, and it's like the Duo Essence something. It's a snail mucin thing. But recently, I've upped my game to none other than salmon sperm.
I wish I was right. So people put salmon nut on their faces now.
But apparently it is all the rage. My friend Ailey has glass skin, okay? This woman's skin is incredible. And I was at her house recently, and she starts putting this serum on her face, and I'm like, what? Oh my God, her skin looks so good. She's like, this is gonna sound crazy. She's like, but this is salmon nut. I was like, what? But apparently it's a huge thing, and there's facials that they do where they like inject it into your skin. Pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure that's what Nina got done. I was actually just talking to her about that yesterday. I met Nina yesterday, and she was talking about how when she was in Korea that she got like a bunch of treatments done. Just because fuck it, you're already out there, you might as well. Yeah, it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing, let me tell you. So I just recently bought that, and I have been using that as well. And then I also use, before I put the salmon nut, I do a couple sprays of toner. The toner that I have right now, I honestly can't even tell you. It was, I went to an esthetician, and she did a facial for me, and she was like, her voice was so soothing and soft, and she was like, you should buy this toner. I was like, whatever you say, lady, because I just love her. So I got that toner, and then I used Cetaphil face lotion, and that's it. And Aquaphor on my lips, or Vaseline. Just depends on the day. So yeah, that's what I do for my face. And I also just bought one of those red light therapy masks. I've used it twice. I don't know if they actually work or not, but I did buy one. Brett asks, do you see a North American tour in your future? Okay, see, here's the thing. I think the idea of going on tour sounds like just like being on tour and being able to like have people come see me like at a venue like in different cities and everyone get the opportunity to like all laugh in a room and like have fun. It sounds like a fucking dream. Literally, like, would love nothing more. but the way my brain is set up, so the way my anxiety is set up, I don't know about all that. So I'm really bad with flying. I'm really bad with, and it's not even a thing where it's like, oh, I'm scared the plane's going to crash. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not scared of that. It could be a plane, a train, a car. If I am somewhere and I am going farther and farther and farther away from a place that I deem safe and comfortable, which is like here, that's what makes me nervous. And if I am somewhere where I don't have the option to leave if I want to, that's also what makes me nervous. So it doesn't matter that it's like, whether it's a fucking boat, a train, a plane, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that I'm on that thing and I can't leave. And I'm like, and if I were to leave, I'm like, where the hell am I at now? I'm not near my safety. And that's like, again, something that I need to kind of like let go of. And I have gotten a lot better at it. I've gotten so much better at it. And if you watch my Joshua Tree vlog, you saw that, like, same thing. I wasn't able to fall asleep because that fucking bed was so goddamn uncomfortable. But I did just fall asleep at a hotel on my week break a few weeks ago, and that was a pretty big deal for me. So everyone clap it up for me. I fell asleep in a bed that was not mine. The idea of touring, or whether I was flying or I had a tour bus, and, like, just all of that, like, I genuinely feel like I would actually go fucking crazy. Like, I just don't think I could. If you have ever had to be on a tour bus, like, and actually, like, be on the tour bus, like, for the course of a tour, I don't care if you're the headliner or, like, if you just had to be on a tour bus in any capacity and, like, for, like, days, weeks, months on end, you are God's strongest soldier, because I just could not fucking fathom being on a bus, and even if it's a big comfy one and I get like my own room and everything, like, and I have to see the same people like every day and we're all crammed on this goddamn bus. Ooh, get me off of this fucking, I would jump out like the goddamn battle bus, okay? I would literally be like, bitch, where are we landing? Like, I'm going tilted, I don't know, because I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, I can't do this. So, unfortunately, I don't know if touring is something that is going to happen in the foreseeable future, but the idea of it does sound fun and amazing. As for now, I am probably just going to try to stick to local-based events, and I'm sorry, this is, you know, everyone who's not in LA right now is like this, but, girl, I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first. You have to understand, right? Lency asks, who were your biggest inspirations to become a streamer? That is a very good question. So I've been watching a lot of creators for, like, you know, years. And I'd say the first gaming creator that I ever watched was Markiplier. And, you know, this was back when I didn't even really play that many games myself because I didn't have, like, a PC or a console of my own. I was in fucking high school. My brother had an Xbox that I sometimes would play Call of Duty on, but that was really, like, the extent of it. And I would watch a lot of Markiplier's playthroughs, and I just was, like, really entertained by him. And even though I was somebody who, like, didn't really play a lot of, like, games myself at that time of my life, I just loved to watch him play stuff. So I'd say Markiplier was definitely, like, the person that kind of, like, the light bulb went off in my head where I was like, whoa, this is like something that people do. Like, that's pretty cool. Just as far as, like, more long-form gaming stuff, I remember Vanoss Gaming, one of my friends had showed me their videos, and I haven't not watched them in years. I'm not sure if they still make videos or not, but I remember back in the day, I used to think they were really funny. I'm trying to think of, like, people that I used to watch years and years and years ago that it almost, like, sparked the idea in my head. But Charlie, obviously, one of them, Moist Critical,
sounds like a great guy.
Someone that I've watched for years. I remember my friend introduced me to him in, like, 2017, probably. And ever since I saw that goddamn urethral swab video and the one where he was talking about how he was drunk at a bar, oh, my God, and how he, like, was really horribly flirting with this girl, and it was, oh my God, his story times are so fucking funny. And ever since then, I was like, and I think this was still like his faceless videos. Like at this point, he still was like not even showing his face in some of these videos. So goddamn funny. So ever since that, I was like, yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, then, you know, once I started to like find more out about Twitch, I was like, this sounds like fun. Like I want to do this. So I started streaming in 2020 or 2021 for like the first time ever. And I would stream to like literally like 3 people. It would be like my 3 friends watching, and I would play like just like fucking Fortnite and like whatever. And yeah, it was just like more for fun. And then I've always wanted a PC just because I've like wanted to play like games on my own time. And then I was like, well, I might as well do Twitch. And then yeah, obviously it didn't take off. And then a few years later, which is where we're at now, I kind of started back up again, maybe a year and a half ago. And I was like, here goes nothing. And then it's been like literally fucking amazing ever since. And for me to only be consistently doing Twitch for like a year and a half now, that's really not that long of a time for me to be like where I'm at right now with all of you guys. So I am so fucking grateful for like all the support. And you know, because a lot of these people that I know in the industry have been doing this shit for years and years and years and years, and some people didn't, you know, get recognized for like years, like until, you know, and now they're at where they are now. But a lot of people, they're like, well, how long have you been doing this? I'm like, you know, like a year and a half. They're like, you're like new to this, is like, that's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it is freaking crazy. So like, yeah, I fucking love y'all. And I would have did it for another fucking 5 to 10 years. And, you know, even if I still had to have, like, another job on the side, like, I genuinely, like, even when I was streaming for 3 people, like, I still had so much fun. And I really do just love it so much. Like, this is what I want to do, like, forever. So, thank you guys. Billy asked, what was your Spotify Wrapped 2024? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was McGee was up there, SZA was up there, and girl, Drake always sneaks his way up there. How the hell does Drake was like my number 5, but I'm like, girl, how do you even sneak your way on this list? Every year he sneaks himself, and I just don't even listen to fucking Drake like that. But I don't know, I feel like he's featured on a lot of shit, or I listen to stuff from people. Drake was on there, and I was like, And who else? Maybe Frank Ocean? I really can't remember off the top of my head. Also, what I thought was fucking hilarious, my most played song, in Turnstile, my most played song was a Turnstile song. I can't remember exactly which one, because it was just one of their ones off of their Grow On album, but my most played song was a Turnstile song. And then the year before that, guess what my number 1 played song on Spotify was for 2023? I'm going to give you 2 seconds to guess. Okay? If you guess Never Too Much by Luther Vandross, congratulations, you're a winner. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. Because of that goddamn Willow Pill and Bosco lip sync that changed me forever. And I said, I need to listen to this song for the rest of my life. Like, it's such a good song. They fucking killed that goddamn lip sync. Oh, it's so good. I love that fucking song. So whenever I hear that song, I'm like, so, yeah. Okay, this is another one. And again, everyone strap in, listen, because, girl, This is a question that I have, but not that I have not been avoiding this. I answer it every time on stream. But someone, Julian says, podcast, please, I'm starving. And I know that I said when I did stop the podcast, I know that I said, y'all, I'm gonna come back with the podcast. It won't be that long of a break. Like 6 months later. I'm sorry. So yes, so I did have a podcast for those of you who don't know. It's called Vacancy at Vanilla's. I have about 60-something episodes up. I started it probably almost 2 years ago and did it every week. And I had a lot of fun. I really do like doing the podcast. Like I said, I like to just sit and talk. It's very easy for me. But once I started streaming more consistently, it kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm on stream, and it's a solo podcast, by the way. Keep that in mind. It's just me. It's not like me and a guest or anything. I've had my friend Rachel on twice, but other than that, it's just me talking. Between the streaming 3 times a week for like 5 hours at a time, and then, you know, TikTok and you know, whatever else I'm doing, and then also doing the podcast. Once I sat down and do the podcast, I almost was like, damn, I don't have anything to say. Like, there's only so much words that can come out of my mouth. Like, I really felt like I didn't have much to talk about, especially since the podcast was very much just this, me talking into a mic. It's not like I'm bouncing off of like another person and we're having like a conversation. Since I was doing the streaming where I'm just talking to myself and I'm talking about my week, and a lot of the stuff I felt like while I was recording the podcast, it's just stuff that I had been already talking about on stream. So unfortunately, and I know that a lot of you are like, y'all love the podcast, and you're definitely more of like a podcast listener than like a stream watcher. But I'm sorry, y'all. It just got to a point where I really just didn't have much to say, and also just the burnout in general. Like, I didn't want to like put too many of my eggs in one basket, too many things on one plate, to the point where I'm like, now I don't want to do anything at all. Like, that's never what I want. I don't ever want what I do in my content to feel forced, to feel like I'm like, oh, I have to record today or I have to stream today. That's exactly what I don't want. So if that means I ever have to like step back or cut a few things out so that it doesn't feel that way, I'm going to do that 1,000,000 times over. And I know that a lot of people want the podcast just because they actually do like to listen. But sometimes people are like, can you post more news? People should shut the fuck up, back the fuck off, and let this woman just shine her light. I am a human, and I'm only human, and I'm like, girl. But yeah, and I understand that a lot of that is just people just getting excited, and I love that you guys love to watch my stuff, but and like anyone that you like, you know, enjoy watching on the internet, you like just want more of them, like but at the end of the day, there's just only so much I could do without it feeling like burnout. And even though my job is fun and amazing and I love it, I'm still technically like working, you know what I mean? So I still want everything to just feel authentic and like, you know, the vlogs you get, like the content that you get out of me is stuff that I like genuinely enjoy doing, and it's not stuff that I am trying to like force down your throat because I want to just like get it out there and like have like 1,020,000 billion things for you to watch. But yeah, like I said, unfortunately the podcast is on a hiatus. There is no plans for it to come back as of right now. I have been doing a lot of like fun little cameos on other people's podcasts, which I've had a good time with because I can like kind of bounce off other people. So that's been really fun doing some other people's podcasts. Maybe one day in the future I would start something back up if it like makes sense. But as of right now, for my own podcast for Vacancy at Vanilla, unfortunately, the Villa, Vanilla's Villa, that's what we call it. Vanilla's Villa. That, you know, the villa as a whole, you know, girl, we got a water park, we got rooms galore, we got everything at Vanilla's Villa, okay? My hypothetical villa. Somebody's gonna watch this and think, what the hell, she has a villa? Where? I want to say, girl, it's not real, I'm not Mr. Beast, okay? I don't have that yet, but in my hypothetical villa, that portion of the villa is under construction, it is closed for the foreseeable future right now, but just know, girl, there's always room for you here, okay? You're still welcome at the villa. Just that part's just closed, okay? So you have to just pardon our appearance right now. But actually, for some people, this is probably them realizing that I had a podcast to begin with. So now you have about 60 hours of me talking that you've never heard before. So if you want to go and watch that, feel free. Zoe asks, what did you originally plan to do after high school? Good question. So when I was growing up, I feel like everyone had like the stage where they wanted to be like a photographer. Like everybody had that like phase, and you take like one picture of a flower, you're like, bitch, I'm meant for this. So I had that phase for a little bit, of photographer phase, and then I really decided that I wanted to do cosmetology. My mom does cosmetology. My mom does hair. And I kind of was like, I want to do that. I want to do hair. I want to do makeup. I want to do just like something in like a creative field. And I kind of always knew that, you know, whatever I wanted to do and whatever like hobbies that I picked up growing up, it was always something in like a creative field. I never had a desire to work in like a very like not professional. What's the word I'm thinking of? Like businessy environment. Just never something that like intrigued me. Yeah, very like anything like corporate, I guess, like just never was something that like stuck out to me. And I always wanted to do something in a more creative field. So when I first graduated night school, because I dropped out of high school, that's a story for another day, girl. You're gonna have to listen to the podcast for that. But after high school, I was like, I'm going to be a makeup artist. And I did this, like, MAC makeup course, this, like, 6-week long, or I don't remember. It was a couple weeks long, and it was this, like, MAC certified course, and you get your, like, makeup artist certification. Because certain states, like, you need an actual esthetician's license to be able to do makeup. In some states, you just need, like, a makeup artist, like, certification. So it really varies on the state, but yeah, you got this like makeup artist certification, and then they're like, go ahead, go do makeup. So I was doing like people like fucking prom makeup and shit, you know what I mean? But then I started working in salons, and I was doing like reception, and then also like a little bit of makeup as well in the salons. And I just remember it being like such a catty environment, and I'd worked at all different types of salons, like ones that were more like family owned, and then ones that were like more like chain ones, and then some that were just like super high end. And really, like, I've worked at all different types of salons, and just every single one I just was like, just wasn't a fan. Was really not a fan. And when I moved to Boston, I kind of just was like, fuck it, I'll figure something out. And then that's how I ended up, you know, working at the club. And obviously that was not something I planned on either, but, you know, it is what it is, and it led me to where I am today. But that's originally what I wanted to do was but I'm kind of glad I didn't go down that route, because you guys have seen my cosplays, and it's just one of those things. It's like you either have the natural talent or you don't.
No, you may not.
Marie asks, do you feel like your career now is worse for your mental health or your career before? This is a good question. Okay. So here's the thing. So between dancing and streaming and content creating, they are both, like, mentally, emotionally, like, you know, taxing in a way, but in two completely different ways.
No.
I would say, as a whole, dancing was worse because of the fact that it was more than just mental, like, I'm like trying to see how I could describe it. It was more than just like the mental health of it. It was like, you know, you were kind of surrounded by a lot of people who, no offense to some of these girls in the club, but some of them were just like very like energy draining people. Even the customers, a lot of these customers were very like, you know, you have to deal with a lot of stuff, and some people would just be like, just whether they're like super handsy or just like not respecting you, and you know, you just have to deal with shit like that too. So it's just like, it really does take a toll on you. And, you know, nights where you don't make any money and you're there and you're like, something free essentially, like, shit like that, that really sucks. And so in a way I'm like, ugh. But the streaming content creation thing is more, I guess, like, takes a different kind of a toll on your mental health, in the sense where it's like you're just being perceived 24/7 by everybody, which is not something that, like, personally, like, really gets to me. I mean, obviously, like, to any extent, like, people do, you know, care a little bit about, like, what people say.
hate it.
I really only let things hold weight if it's from people who I feel like genuinely care about me and genuinely like me and have my best interests out. So if somebody who was like a genuine supporter of mine, you know, had something to say or an opinion that was maybe like more negative or like some, even if it was like a constructive criticism kind of a thing, that's something that I would like take more seriously and like actually sit and think back on versus some like stupid fucking faceless account just like trying to troll or just say like something just dumb or whatever. That I'm like, okay, that literally does not, like who cares about that? It's the same way too where it's like, why would you care about the opinion of someone who you're not, like if you're not even like looking for validation from this like subgenre of person, then who gives a fuck? I remember somebody actually came in my chat like and was like, oh, I'm like really struggling with, you know, I think the person was coming out, I'm not exactly sure, but they were coming out on some sort of LGBTQ spectrum, and they were like, I'm just, you know, like, I just don't want to have to deal with, you know, people from, like, my high school or, like, other people, you know, that are just, like, bigots and stuff, saying, like, stuff about me or whatever. And that's the thing where I'm just, like, but that's, like, you know, if that's the kind of person that they are, and those are the values that they have, you should not even let an opinion from a person like that hold any fucking weight. Me personally, if some sort of, like, I wouldn't even let, like, if there was just, like, some absolute fucking, like, person who just had the worst views, who was, like, super misogynistic, super fucking, like, racist, super homophobic, super, like, just, like, the worst person you could ever imagine, bitch, I wouldn't even care about your opinion on what color fucking shirt I'm wearing that day. Like, I would not ask your opinion on fucking anything, let alone how you feel about me as a person. So that's where, like, when it comes to comments and stuff, it's like, okay, if you're not, like, somebody who is on my side of the internet and, like, you wouldn't understand my content anyway, I can't sit here and, like, be upset about what you think about my content, because it's not meant for you. You know what I mean? Like, I am not meant for you, and that's okay. Hair reveal, okay, actually, no, because what the fuck? Something was going on up there. I didn't like that. So that's kind of how I've been thinking about stuff lately in, like, a content, like, space. But all in all, I feel like I have been handling everything pretty well. And not that anything, like, really, like, nothing bad has, like, happened. Everyone has been, like, so fucking sweet and, like, accepting and supportive of me. But, again, it's just one of those things where I see myself, like, all over the internet all the time, and I'm like, what the freak? And even, like, you know, people that I haven't talked to in years are now, like, reaching out and stuff. And a lot of people, it's, like, very nice, but some people you could feel like it's not really as genuine, I guess. But I would say still, though, like, this is legit, like, what I wanted to do, and I knew, like, the repercussions that, like, came with this life, but I am lucky that I have such a, like, a good, like, support system, I feel like, in my normal life as well, like, outside of the social media, that, like, if I do, like, want to rant about some stuff, like, this happened, and then I remember him being like, he was like, that's because that money was not meant for you. He was like, that money was not meant for you. Whatever money is meant for you, and whatever, like just trust, it's going to find you. And it like, whatever is meant for you, it's already yours. Like, so you don't even got to worry about that. Because that just simply wasn't meant for you. Like, that might, like, for whatever reason, like, that was meant for her. Like, that was just, like, that was hers. Like, but whatever's meant for you is yours. Like, you already have it. Like, I was like, wow, you're kind of right. And I don't know, something about that just, like, took a weight off my shoulders in a way, and I was like, damn, like, he kind of ate with it. Like, and even though that, like, might not make sense to some people, it really kind of resonated with me. I was like, you know what, you're right. Whatever's meant for me will come to me. Like, whatever, like, good stuff that is meant for me is going to come to me. And it did. So you know, it's just one of those things. You just kind of have to have that like mentality. But that's something that like really, really stuck with me, and that was like years ago. But yeah, shout out to that guy if he's still out there somewhere dancing. I hope that he's having a good freaking life. Daisy asks how to get comfortable in your body type. These bodies shoved in your face are hard to ignore.
My sister before.
Again, like, just I feel like being in the industry for a while kind of made me really hyper aware of other people's bodies, and also realizing there's so many different body types out there, and they are like genuinely all beautiful, like in different ways. And there's so many different like fads of what's like popular, like things go in and out of like fashion, even with like body type stuff. Everything's always like constantly changing. And I feel like once you start like genuinely like once you start living your life for you and not for like of the internet or like again a lot of these people like behind a screen that some of these people you'll never actually fucking meet in real life. Like it doesn't like actually like it doesn't fucking matter like at the end of the day. And also a lot of the bodies that are being shoved in your face are fucking face too. So let's clock that. Let's wake that one up. And hey, and here let me be really clear as well. Hold on, I'm just going to show you something also as well. Yeah. So I am also a face too user. Because absolutely I am going to, you know, nip and tuck a little bit. Not crazy, but I'm going to be, I am going to be in there just, you know, smoothing a couple things out. Absolutely. So don't, you know, but everybody fucking does. Like, let's be real right now. So I just need y'all to know that, like, the bodies that are being shoved in your face are edited bodies. And, again, I'm not one for, like, I don't advocate fucking heavily editing yourself to the point where you're, like, fucking unreal. But I also think, like, you know, right now, I am, like, a heavier weight for, like, my, well, what the hell is even, like, normal? It's just fucking whatever. But I am at, like, a heavier side of, like, other weights that I've been in my life. And I genuinely